Hi guys, happy Monday. I hope that you're all having an amazing start to your week. Welcome back to our Q&A video. At the end of this video, I will be sharing some of my Whiting and Davis handbags. I know that I discussed them on our last MMQA, and many of you asked if I can share those with you, so I definitely will. Stay tuned for that at the very end. And this might be a little bit TMI, but I had to throw this out here just in case you guys see me struggling. So I burnt my tongue when I was drinking coffee this morning. Not the tip of my tongue, behind the tip of my tongue. And it feels so strange. It feels like I have a mint or something's kind of hanging on my tongue, so it makes it really difficult for me to talk. So if you guys see me struggling, this is why. It's so uncomfortable. But I had to throw it out there, all right? I hate it when I burn my tongue because it lasts forever and then you can't really taste anything. But anywho, I digress. I'm getting off subject. All right, so let's get this show on the road, shall we? Starting with the first question. How can you afford to buy luxury bags? Is it from YouTube? I have seen other YouTubers make videos. How can I afford luxury bags? All right, so I have discussed this many moons ago. How do I afford luxury goods? Is it from YouTube? No, it's definitely not from YouTube. I do make some money from YouTube, but the majority of how I afford my luxury goods is through my job. Now, with my paychecks, I do like to set aside money that I like to call mad money, and sometimes that amount fluctuates. However, before I can even fathom putting any type of money into the mad money account, all of my responsibilities have to be taken care of first. I don't care if I have a bag that I'm looking at. It doesn't matter if the sales associate texts me and they're like, hey, we have this bag. It doesn't matter. Those take precedence and those have to be taken care of first before I can even think about putting away any type of money into the mad money account. Another thing, I don't get my hair done anymore. Ever since my hairdresser moved away, I've been dyeing my own hair. So this right here, it's all me. It's all me. So I save money by doing my own hair. I don't get my nails done. I don't go to get coffee. I've said it before, I have a very simple lifestyle. I don't really splurge on anything except for luxury goods. Just because that's the way that I am. My clothing, I don't wear designer threads either. Most of my clothing comes from TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and I absolutely love it. That's definitely my jam. So the only aspect of my life that is luxury would be my bags. That's it. And I'm not trying to pretend I'm something I'm not. I am very simple. I just have a thing for handbags. Now, another thing. Credit cards. I do end up putting some of my bags on credit cards, but those balances have to be paid every single month. I don't carry anything over. I like using the credit cards either because I get points, I get gift cards, I get miles or what have you. And with those points or gift cards, I've also been able to get other luxury goods. But I really have this weird thing when it comes to credit cards. And I discussed this, like I said before, many moons ago. When I was younger, credit cards, it's almost like I knew about credit cards. I just didn't seem to grasp the concept of a credit card. So when I was younger, I got my first credit card and I was stoked. I started swiping like crazy. Then I got another credit card, started doing the same thing. And before you know it, at one point in time, I had a little over $25,000 racked up onto credit cards. Insane. It took me some time to pay it all off, and I swore to myself I would never ever do that again, and I have stood by that. So that's why when I tell you guys, if I don't have the funds for it, I don't have the funds for it. So be it. If I miss out on it, I miss out on it. I'm not really one to fall for FOMO anyways. Plus, not to mention that throughout the year, sometimes I do sell things here and there, mostly small leather goods. I have sold about 85% of my luxury shoes within the last 2 years. So between selling some of the small leather goods and my footwear in a bag here and there, all of that has pretty much funded everything that you guys see behind me. And I never buy to sell. I've never been that type. But if I have something and I've loved it for a couple of years, or I fall out of love with it, or whatever the case may be, I end up selling it, and then that money goes towards something else that I have my eye on. So it's almost like a revolving door. So between either saving some cash on either gift cards or what have you, or selling some of my items to fund others, or using that mad money to to buy my luxury goods, that's pretty much how I end up affording luxury goods. And I don't really splurge on any other aspect of my life. That's the way that I want it. I've always been that way, but I've always had such a weakness, such a weakness for luxury goods. And I don't really go into detail with my job either, just because I do like to keep that aspect of my life and my YouTube aspect life completely separated. Yeah, so there's not really, I'm not really, yeah, it's kind of a boring answer, but it is what it is. It's there's no like gimmick or anything like that. Definitely not. But what about you guys? What are some ways that you end up getting your luxury goods, or what are some ways that you end up saving some cash on your luxury goods? Let us know in the comment section down below. Now this next question is actually a tag video. I was tagged by the creator, my wonderful friend Andre, to discuss the following topic, and I thought it would be a great way to be able to incorporate it into our MMQA. So she asked, is the Hermes Birkin just a status symbol? Awesome question. So I personally don't think it is. Maybe the Himalayan that's encrusted in diamonds or the exotics, but in general, no. However, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think that Birkins were more of a status symbol 10 plus years ago, when you mostly saw celebrities wearing them, or when you didn't see them around as much. And I say that very loosely because it's not like everywhere you go you see Birkins, and definitely not. But in this community, you do see them quite often. I think that Birkins are more of a holy grail, end all be all, because people love handbags, not because they're trying to portray a certain lifestyle. I think it's the craftsmanship, the history, and let's not forget the fact that they also end up holding their resale value insanely well. That really ends up winning them over as well. Now, obviously, I don't have a Birkin or a Kelly or a Constance to be able to compare the quality with any of the pieces that I have in my collection, but I've heard many people who do own Birkins and Kellys say that the leather and the craftsmanship is 10 times better than any other fashion house. I've heard other people that have these 3 sought after bags as well say that the quality isn't as good as people make it out to be. I think it depends on who you're talking to and how they interpret the status symbol and what the bag means to them. Because in this case, you guys know that the Birkin, the Kelly, or even the Constance, those 3 bags, none of them are my end all be all. I have no interest in them whatsoever. So that could be a reason why I see things this way versus someone who is a diehard fan of this brand or of these 3 bags, and they do see it as a status symbol. I'm not sitting here trying to bash the brand just because it's not for me, but I'm just trying to give a perspective as to why I might see it that way, just because it doesn't really do anything for me versus a different brand or a different style of bag. So some people might say that due to its price point, it does make it a status symbol, whereas other people, it doesn't necessarily make it a status symbol, but they just love it because they love handbags. They love their history. They love the craftsmanship and all of these things that maybe another brand in their collection doesn't have. So it really just goes back to beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I would love to know your thoughts. Do you think that the Hermes Birkin is a status symbol? Do you view it that way? For those of you that have Birkins and for those of you that don't have Birkins, I welcome your guys' opinion. But Andre, thank you so much for the tag. If you guys haven't checked out Andre's channel, definitely do. She covers an array of different topics. She also does cooking, she vlogs, the whole 9 yards. She is fabulous. I absolutely love her. But again, I welcome your guys' opinion on this topic. Next question. I would love to hear your thoughts on buying it bags versus timeless bags. Brands like Paulin seem to gain a lot of popularity through social media, but is it a timeless bag like Louis Vuitton or Chanel? All right, so when it comes to it bags versus timeless bags, I guess you can say I definitely end up leaning more towards the timeless or towards the classic, just because I think that those are a little bit more simple than sometimes the it bags. However, it bags can also become timeless bags, kind of like what we discussed on our last MMQA with the Givenchy Antigona and the Celine luggage tote line and things like that. So there's always that chance that they will also end up standing the test of time and they will become iconic. Now, when it comes to trendy bags or at the moment bags that aren't the ones that we discussed last time, I think that with those bags, there is a type of either a whimsical detail that it has or a fun element to a trendy bag that the classic bags just don't have. I'm not saying that I don't love the classic bags or the timeless bags, because obviously they have stood the test of time and that's amazing. But I just think that sometimes those whimsical details, like I said before, or that fun element that the trendy bag gives off is something that just makes it that much more of a joy to use. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but when I carry my timeless bag, I feel a certain way, and when I carry a trendy bag or an at the moment bag, I feel a certain way as well. I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly or not, or well or not, but I just think that the it bags or the trendy bags have a really fun element to them. Sometimes that element ends up dying out really quickly. Other times it has the potential to become a timeless bag. As far as Pollen, obviously they have gained a lot of popularity through social media, as you had mentioned, and they do have some very simple designs as well. I think some of their pieces could potentially become timeless. They could become classic, and who knows, 50 years down the road, they can end up being this major fashion house, because every fashion house, every brand started somewhere, you know? So it would be amazing to see, just because I'm a huge fan of some of their designs. Some of their designs are a little bit out there for myself, but the quality and the craftsmanship of their leather, I think, is absolutely amazing. So it really just boils down to only time will tell. As boring as that sounds, right? Only time will tell. Now, there's another thing that I wanted to discuss, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but sometimes it seems like social media has a way of muddying the waters when it comes to luxury goods. I think that there is so much that is readily available to our eyeballs that sometimes it seems like luxury goods can feel like fast fashion. I don't know if it's because we have so many seasons. Obviously we have seasons, we have different collections, we have different lines that are coming out constantly. But I feel like gone are the days when it would be like 6 months before something crazy huge came out. Now it seems like crazy huge comes out every single week. And not that it necessarily diminishes the appeal of it, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it's as special, I guess. So I guess it does. It just doesn't seem as special because there's so much of it constantly coming out. I don't know. Do you guys feel the same way? It kind of reminds me of like a show. You know, you wait a whole year to see the show when it comes out. When it finally does, you're excited, versus it just being there and you know that it's there. I don't know, but I would love to hear your thoughts, whether it's on it bags, timeless bags, on the Pollen line, or whatever the case may be. I welcome your guys' opinions. Next question. What do you think of the new Louis Vuitton denim collection? Do you like the new loop bag? I know your feelings on the croissant bag. Okay, so as far as the new Louis Vuitton denim collection, I am a fan. I am absolutely a fan. I think that they are beautiful. The pieces that they have, and most importantly, the colors that they chose for the denim, I think are gorgeous. Whether you go for the blue, whether you go for the pink, I love the fact that they're not too out there. They're not too over the top. They don't have too many bells and whistles. The denim to me kind of reminds me, and it gives me old school Louis Vuitton denim vibes. Like when the denim came out in the early 2000s, that's kind of what it reminds me of. But when I saw that the collection was coming out, I instantly knew that it was going to be insanely popular. And that definitely has been the case. But I think that I love the colors. I just cannot get past the colors that they chose, because they do have the treated blue leather for the blue pieces, and then they have the regular leather for the pink. And I think it's awesome. It's such a beautiful combination. One of my favorite pieces from that collection is actually the On The Go. I think it is beyond gorgeous. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but it looks stunning in the denim, but huge fan. Now, having said that, I am not a fan, however, of the loop bag. The loop bag, I think, in all honesty, I think it's hideous. It reminds me of the croissant bag, and if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, I did have the Louis Vuitton croissant bag many moons ago. Hated that bag. Just because of the style that it has, you can't fit a whole lot in there. It has such a weird shape to it, and everything kind of just goes into the middle. So that whole, not liver, kidney style, right? Which organ is it? You know what I'm talking about. I'm having such a brain fart right now. I don't know my anatomy to save my life. But the shape of it is not very user friendly. So the loop bag, considering that it's a lot skinnier, just no. Just from my past experience, not a fan of it. Love the fact that it's in the blue denim. I think it is gorgeous, but just, I don't think it's a very functional bag. Then again, bags don't always have to be functional. They could just be beautiful. But in that case, for me personally, it's not very beautiful either. So those are just my 2 cents, you know, but to each their own. Just not the biggest fan of that bag. But in general, when it came to the denim collection, absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. The colors that they chose, I just cannot get over it. So I would love to know, how do you guys feel about the denim collection? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan? Whatever the case may be, let us know in the comment section down below. I feel like I keep creeping into the camera. I need to sit back a little bit. All right, next question. What are your thoughts on luxury collaborations? Do you own any pieces from the collab with Gucci and Balenciaga? And if not, are you open to a piece from these in the future? Yes, I am actually a big fan of the Hacker project, which is the Gucci and the Balenciaga. I think that they're beautiful. They're very fun. I actually seem to lean more towards the Gucci side of them versus the Balenciaga side of them. So I'll put a couple pictures while I'm talking about them. But I think that they're really fun, and it's really nice to see 2 fashion houses that are collaborating. I would definitely be open to getting a piece in the future. And I think it would be awesome to see even more collaborations. Like, can you imagine, I mean, some people might think I'm a little bit crazy. Can you imagine a Louis Vuitton and a Chanel collaboration? That would be like the best of both worlds. A classic flap that has the LV sign instead of the CC, and you have that beautiful pebbled leather, or you have a Speedy with, you know, maybe not the CCs, that'd be a little too much, but if you had a Speedy with, that had quilts or what have you. I don't know, but I just think that those 2 fashion houses would do amazing. And talk about breaking the internet. If those 2 fashion houses ever decided to, which, let's be honest, I don't think they ever would, but if they decided to do a collaboration, that collaboration, there is no doubt in my mind, it would break the internet. Absolutely. I think it would be insane. But in general, huge fan of collaborations. I know that Prada recently did one with what's it called? Brain fart again, with oh my gosh, Adidas. And I love the pieces that they chose. It's just, I don't know, it's so refreshing to see. Again, 2 different brands or 2 different companies come together and make some really cool pieces. Sometimes they might be a little bit out there and they're a little too much, but it's just nice to see a different side and something that is very limited as well, because it's not like they're gonna be doing it, you know, every season or what have you. So I'm a huge fan of luxury collaborations, especially that Hacker project. I'm definitely a huge fan, absolutely. But what about you guys? Are you guys a fan of the Hacker project? Is that what it's called, the Hacker project? I'm probably butchering that too. Oh my God, today is not my day. Today is not my day. Are you guys a fan of the Gucci and the Balenciaga collaboration? Are you a fan of collaborations in general? Or whatever the case may be, let us know your feelings on the comment section down below. But honestly, what do we think? I mean, let's be real. What do we think about a collaboration between Louis Vuitton and Chanel? It would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Next question. Let's discuss fashion file prices and how the outlet, which used to be filled with items, now only has 5 to 6 items for sale. I've noticed this for the past couple of months. What gives? I too have noticed the same thing, and I think it's leaning more towards a year now that their outlet section has changed drastically, because before there were like pages and pages, and now, as you said before, there's only a few items on there. And I was really bummed out because I like their outlet section, and if you had the time and if you really looked, you can find some awesome savings on there. So like I said before, I was really bummed. Now, I do have a theory. I could be wrong. These are just my 2 cents, but last year I submitted a pair of shoes for a quote, And they got back to me, and they decided against the shoes. And I was kind of taken back just because the pair of shoes came with a box, it came with a dust bag. I think I still had like the SKU card and all that stuff, and they didn't have a crazy amount of wear. So I was like, huh, that's kind of strange. So I thought I would call and see if they can give me a little bit more detail as to why they decided against the shoes. So when I spoke to the representative, they informed me that they are no longer accepting shoes that have any type of wear. Not, I shouldn't say any type of wear, but they're pretty much looking for shoes that are in excellent to like new condition. I don't know if that's the case for everything. So shoes, small leather goods, handbags, or what have you. But when she said that, I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy, because 6 months prior, I had submitted a pair of shoes and it had they had considerably more wear than the ones that I'm submitting right now. She said, I know, but we're really trying to just focus on the excellent to like new condition items. So I'm wondering, like I said before, if that's the reason why we're seeing less and less on the outlet. Because even now, if you go onto their website, most of the items are in like new condition or excellent condition. Most of them are in giftable condition as well. And I don't remember seeing a time when they had that much inventory that was giftable compared to items that had wear or... You guys, I don't know if you guys can hear that. All of my neighbors are out right now and it's making it very difficult for me to focus. But anyways, what was I saying? So before, I thought that you would see more like used, pre-loved versus new, and now I see more new than pre-loved, you know what I mean? Again, these are just my 2 cents. I could be completely wrong, but it definitely seems like they're being a lot more, they're narrowing down, and they're being a lot more selective on what they decide to accept versus just maybe accepting everything that they used to before. But I would love to know, have you guys submitted a quote into them recently? Have you had the same experience? Or what are your thoughts? Why do you think they are dwindling down their selection when it comes to their outlet pages? Let me know in the comment section down below. Next question. If you had the option of purchasing a seasonal bag like the My Perfect Chanel or a classic mini for basically the same price, would you go for the classic or venture with a seasonal? Okay, so quick side note, I am a huge fan of the My Perfect Flap. Is that what it's called, the My Perfect Flap? I think so, from Chanel. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love the fact that it has the larger quilts, but it doesn't look like it's going to age horribly either, and I love the detail that it has, so huge fan of the My Perfect Flap. Okay, so would I go for the classic mini or for a seasonal piece? If it was my first piece, I would go for the classic, just because I know that those are a lot harder to come by. And then I would go for a seasonal piece. But at the same time, with seasonal pieces, it's a one shot, because 6 months later, you might not be able to find it, or there's a good chance you're not going to be able to find it. So in that case, I think it really comes down to what it is that you want to go for. If you want something that's a little bit more classic, something that's a little bit more timeless, then I would go for the minis. But if you want something a little bit more fun, something that you don't see as often as you do the minis, then I would end up going for the My Perfect bag. But obviously the mini has great resale value, and the My Perfect Flap, or the My Perfect bag, I think that's what it is. I think I'm butchering the name. That bag also holds its resale value very, very well. Again, I think it's due to the popularity and because you don't see it as often. Both of them are very elusive when it comes to getting them at the boutique. But yeah, if I didn't have any minis, I would still go for a mini first, and then I would go for the seasonal. But if I had a mini already, I would go for the seasonal bag, absolutely, because they're really fun, you know. And like I said, once you see them, it's one of those things, if you like it, grab it, because you're not going to be able to find it again. And then if you do decide to get it, if you get it on the pre-loved market, or if you get it through a reseller, then you're going to be paying a premium. So that's what I would end up doing. But both of those bags are absolutely beautiful. Next question. What's your opinion on the Balenciaga Hourglass bag? I'm a fan. I definitely am a fan. I wasn't at first. When I first saw them, I was like, ooh, I don't know. It kind of looks strange. It looks a little bit like an alien. But as the time has gone by, I definitely have an appreciation for them. I personally like the larger size the best. I wouldn't use it with the strap that it comes with. I personally like it as a little hand carry bag. It seems like most people end up gravitating towards the smaller sizes to use crossbody. And I do think that they look cute, but for me, I really like the larger size. Now, I also love the crystal versions that they have. They have it in black. They have it in red. They also have it in the silver, and they are insane. The price point is crazy as well, because the crystal ones I think retail for $5,500. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that is nuts. But I think that they're beautiful. I do have one gripe, and maybe I'll get over it. I don't know. But the B that it has kind of dangling on the front, I don't know. I don't really like that detail. I wonder, why couldn't they just put the B, maybe not even a B, like just have it say Balenciaga, or I don't know, maybe some kind of snap closure, because I think that the B looks a little bit weird. I don't know, it kind of, sometimes I feel like it looks out of place, and other times, like on small leather goods, I think it looks cute. I definitely prefer it more than the B's that they have, you know, back to back. But yeah, I'm not really digging that detail. Other than that, I love the bag. I love the bag. And it looks, like I said before, really strange. It's kind of out there. It almost looks futuristic. But it's kind of, I don't know, it's definitely grown on me, but the larger size I think is beautiful. I know that I've seen a couple videos on them, and some people have said that you can't really fit a ton just because of the shape that it has, and it is quite stiff. But I still think it's very, very cute. It's very different. And I have a major appreciation for them, except for the B. Maybe, like I said before, I'll get over it, but only time will tell. Are you guys a fan of the hourglass bag? Any size. If you are, or if you have it, do you love it? Are there some things to look out for? Whatever the case may be, let us know in the comment section down below. Next question, do you still buy Coach bags, and can you do a collection showing your Coach bags? And I also got questions about Dooney and Bourke. Do I have any? Do I still buy them? So as far as Dooney and Bourke goes, I no longer have any of the Dooney and Bourke bags that I had back in the day. I think I had maybe 5 or 6, not too many. My older collection was pretty much dominated by Coach, and that's why I will always have a special place in my heart for them. They were my first love, and I went a little bit nuts at one point in time. You guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I had anywhere from 125 to 140 pieces from Coach, and the majority of that number were handbags. Like I was hooked, I was obsessed, and I think that they're amazing. I still think that they're amazing, and I'm so happy to see that they got over that funky slump over, you know, a couple of years ago, and now to me they're very similar to what they were back in the day when I first started buying from them. Do I still buy from Coach? I do, and crazy enough, I actually literally just made a purchase last week. The item is supposed to arrive today. I don't know if it'll arrive before I end up editing this video. If I get it before then, I will insert a clip so you guys can check it out. If not, then I will just end up sharing a picture of it. But what prompted the purchase was because on the vlog video I said that the Coach outlet store was closed, and I was really bummed out because I really wanted to go in there. So I just decided to Google Coach outlet. I don't know why, but I did, and when I first saw it pop up, I was like, oh, this has to be fake. It absolutely has to be fake, because you see like Louis Vuitton outlet and Coach, or not Coach outlet, Chanel outlet. So I kind of thought the same thing, but upon further investigation, it is a legitimate website. I feel like everyone probably knows this, and I was living under a rock. I don't know, but I will put a link down below if you guys want to check it out. They have some killer deals. So I ended up getting a bag on there. It's called the Penny 25. It's in green pebbled leather with silver hardware. I paid $175 for it. It retails for $350, and I am super stoked. So again, I will insert a picture, but hopefully it gets here in time so I can, you know, do like a proper little thing. Guess what came in while I was editing? Oh yeah, I'm so excited. All packaged up. Here is the SKU. I will put all of the information down below. So let me open it up so I can show you guys the details. All right, here we are. I love it. So first things first, you will notice that it does have quite a bit of wrinkling at the top of the bag, but overall the pebbled leather does feel very nice. And I'm hoping that as time goes by, or if I end up stuffing this bag, that these wrinkles might become a little bit less intense. The color actually on camera looks a little bit more muted. In real life, it is this beautiful green. It's not like crazy vibrant either, but it's still a beautiful forest green. I love the silver hardware. I think it's gorgeous. Now this bag does come with 2 different straps. So you have one here one little shoulder strap that is completely removable. Then you also have a longer crossbody slash shoulder strap that does have adjustments. And this guy is also completely removable. So you can even mix it with a different strap if you wanted to all together. On the inside, it just has one little slip pocket. There are no exterior back pockets. It does have these guys on the sides that have the little snap-on closure. But there we go. And there is the SKU. Now, as far as the Coach items that I do have, I pretty much ended up selling my entire older collection except for 3 pieces. And I have picked up a few things here and there over the years, not too many. So I don't have a very large collection, but if you guys want me to do a full in-depth video on these pieces, let me know in the comment section down below. I did bring them out so we have a little bit of eye candy. So I'm gonna start off with the ones that you guys might have seen that I picked up most recently, and it's actually been like 3 or 4 years. So one of those pieces is the Coach Tabby Top Handle 20 in the ivory with the age gold hardware. Love this little bag, super cute. To me, it gives me like those older, like those vintage Coach vibes. And it is small. It doesn't fit a crazy amount of items, but I still think it is absolutely adorable. So there's the Coach Tabby. I just hate the name, Coach Tabby Top Handle 20. It needs a different name. I don't know why it seems like it's kind of like a tongue twister. Another item that I have is this small leather good, which is the round coin purse. Now I think it was probably, was it 3 or 4 years ago now? I can't remember, but they did a line with Wizard of Oz, and Wizard of Oz is my all-time favorite movie. So when I saw this round coin purse, I was like, oh my, I have to have it. I have to have it because it does have the ruby red slippers. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I try not to use it too often just because I don't want anything to happen to the slippers. But this is a forever piece for me. Absolutely. But it's so adorable. Absolutely love it. And at the same time, I also got this glittery green card holder. I haven't had any issues with this glitter falling out. So maybe, you know, I wouldn't have any issues with the ruby red slippers, but still, I don't want to chance it. But love this card holder. I've used it many, many of times, and it's amazing. The quality is amazing. There we go. Absolutely fabulous. So that card holder. Now for my older pieces, these range anywhere from 17 to 25 plus years old. I will never part ways with them. Easy to say that they are forever pieces as well, and they hold a ton of sentimental value. First up, this beauty right here. This is called the Demi Pochette, if I'm not mistaken. It's in the fuchsia. This is very near and dear to my heart. My dad bought this for me, and I used it to death. I mean, you could see the wear and tear that it has on there. But for as old as it is, it's easily over 25 years old. It's still, I think it still looks pretty good considering what I put this bag through. You know what I'm saying? So love that bag. I also have this beauty. This was given to me by the Hubs. So you have that pink leather, and this also I used to death. It does have quite a bit of stains. It has some stains right there as well as wear and tear on the corners, but I still think it looks pretty good. And for as old as this bag is as well, the leather has not dried out, and I don't use any type of moisturizer. I don't use anything on my handbags, be it Coach or any of my luxury bags either. So for it to still have this beautiful supple leather, that's saying something, right? That's a testament to the quality of Coach. So love that. And another one that some of you guys might not have seen is this beauty right here. This still has the tags attached. Yeah, I never wanted to use it, but I think it is absolutely beautiful. It says on here, it says Opt Sig pouch. But I just think it's beautiful. And the craziest thing of all is that obviously this is in the white canvas, and it does have it has white leather on the bottom of the handle here. This white has not changed color. It has not yellowed, and usually we all know that white has a tendency to yellow as time goes by, and this has not yellowed whatsoever. It's probably because I do have it nicely stored away, but still, the fact that it hasn't happened, I think is amazing. So love, love, love this little pouch. So, so cute. So those are the Coach pieces that I have in my collection. I love them all, and I will definitely still keep buying from Coach. There are a few other bags that I have my eye on, but I'm super excited about the penny 25. So let me know, are you guys a fan of Coach? Were you a fan of Coach before? Do you still have some of your pieces from your older collection? Whatever the case might be, let us know in the comment section down below. Next question. Would love to know if you still get joy from your Louis Vuitton Alma BB. All right, so I did bring it out, so we have a little bit more eye candy. Yes, this bag still brings me a crazy amount of joy. I did remove the lock from here a couple of years ago, and I actually prefer it that way because sometimes that lock would make like not a thumping sound, but whenever I'd move around, I'd hear it go boom, boom, boom. So that drove me a little bit crazy, but I absolutely love this bag. I actually used it the other day. I did end up getting a Samorga organizer for it, so that way I can end up using this bag with my lighter colored small leather goods. So I got this organizer. It doesn't have any, it has just little slip pockets there, but I think it's perfect because the Damier Ebene obviously does have that beautiful red interior. Now that red interior mixed with lighter colors isn't the best because it can end up staining those lighter small leather goods. And I definitely learned my lesson years ago. So getting the organizer has been wonderful. That way, again, I can end up incorporating more items, or I can use more items in this little bag. Now, I no longer end up using the strap that it comes with. You guys know that I've never really been the biggest fan of this strap anyways, so I don't really use it too often. Now, I pretty much end up going for these chains. So this chain is from Samorga. It's just the gold tone metal there. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the way that it looks paired with this. I think it's amazing. But in all honesty, one of my favorites to pair with the Alma is the Organize My Bag. I think it's called the Rollo chain in the medium size. You guys have heard me talk about this many of times. I will actually put a link to the website on the description box below if you want to check it out. And I also have a 10% off coupon code I'll put down there as well. But it's such a great chain, and I love the way that it looks because it's not too thick and it kind of gives it a little bit of a dainty feel to it without it being flimsy, because these guys have quite a bit of weight to them, not to the point where they're uncomfortable and the chain is going to dig into your skin, not at all, but this matches the hardware perfectly. Like, I mean, it looks exactly the same, and I think it is absolutely gorgeous. So paired with the Organize My Bag one and the Samorga ones as well. And I do have a few other Samorga ones. I don't know why I keep putting it in the back. Idiots. I do have a few other Samorga chains that I also end up swapping it out with, but these two are the ones that I end up using the most for sure. But yep, still a huge fan of the Alma BB, and I can definitely see myself using it for many, many years to come. Next question. What is your favorite brand for handbags? Like, if you could only buy handbags from one brand from now on, which one would it be? Okay, so my favorite brand, my favorite fashion house, hands down, is Chanel. However, if I could only buy from one fashion house for the rest of my life, it wouldn't be Chanel. There's no way. With their prices, like, there is absolutely no way that would end up happening. So if I could only buy from one brand for the rest of my life, ooh, that's kind of tough. That's kind of tough. I'd have to say it would be between Saint Laurent and I'm going to have to go with good old Gucci. I didn't think I would ever say Gucci, but yeah, probably Gucci. Just because I feel like those brands have a little bit more of an array that I could definitely get into as the years go by. So yeah, it would have to be a toss-up between those two. I know it's not like a for sure this is the only one, because I really cannot decide to save my life, but it would be a toss-up between those two. But if I had like all the money in the world, and if I won the lottery, it would be Chanel. Like, hands down, it would be Chanel all day, every day. But that's not the case. It's not the case, but at least I'm being realistic, right? But anyways, what about you guys? If you can only buy from one fashion house for the rest of your life, which one would it be? All right, so we've made it to the end, and here are some of my Whiting & Davis handbags. I love these bags. They are so incredibly beautiful. I love the detail. I mean, the fact that these bags, some of them are from the 40s, from the 50s, from the 60s, I think is incredible. I have about 10 or 15 of them. All of them are in the gold mesh, and all of them are different, but this one has the kiss lock closure, and there have been times that I have used them out. I don't do it too often, just because I don't want anything to happen to them, but I love them. I think that they're beautiful. I mostly find them antiquing. I love when I find them antiquing. It's almost like, it's like a treasure find or whatever it is. And I haven't paid like a crazy amount for them either. I think the cheapest one was like $3.50, and then the most expensive one I think was maybe 45 bucks. I have seen them like on Etsy, and they're creeping up in price, which is kind of a bummer, but I just think that these are beautiful. This one, all of the stones are intact. Chanel, maybe you should take some note from that, right? With their costume jewelry. But look at that. I think these are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I have some beaded handbags as well, and check this out. My mom got this for me. It says Mesh Mates Whiting & Davis. It came with the box. Look at this coin purse. Isn't that fabulous? Look at, it's literally brand new. It is absolutely gorgeous. I think she said it's from the 50s or the 60s, and it's immaculate. It is absolutely gorgeous. So I am a sucker for Whiting & Davis. They're still around as well. They still make mesh bags, amongst other things, but absolutely gorgeous. I think that these are fabulous, and come on, they have so much history. I am a sucker for them. All right, you guys, so that does it for our MMQA. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day.